Joseph Berry.
Joseph Berry. Joe was your brother?
Joe. The Lord rest my lovely brother Joseph. And he had a receptionist, Claire Hodgins. And from time to time, we would ring the plant, whether it was on the Fairlane at the time or later on down the Newport Road, and we'd ring looking for Joseph. And Claire would say, "Joe, some of the family is looking for you." Because everybody called him Joe, but we called him Joseph. Joseph worked in the Mayo News office, and the Mayo News office at that time was going from broadsheet to the copy that they have now.
Small size anyway.
The small size.
Yeah.
I can't actually remember the name of the term for it.
Tabloid, I suppose, is it?
Could be tabloid, it was tabloid. Yeah. And the man came down, setting it up. They were getting this big rotary press that rolled off the papers.
Where was the Mayo News that time?
Mayo News was on James's Street at the time. And Joseph was just after finishing his time as an apprentice to printing. And this man came down to fit this rotary press and to take away the other one for making the broadsheet. So Joseph was told to be his assistant, and as the days wore on, somebody come along and say, "Joe, where's such and such, whatever." And he was constantly being asked questions. And the fitter said to him, "Will you tell me," he says, "what are you here?" "Oh," says Joseph, "I'm just finishing my time as apprentice to print. I'm in the last couple of months of my time." As far as I can see, he says, "You're the only one that knows anything about this place." Because everything is coming down. Ask Joe. So I wonder, he says, "You wouldn't set up a printing press of your own?" "Ah," says Joseph, "I couldn't afford it." "How wouldn't you?" says your man. He says, "Wouldn't you get a second-hand machine and you buy it in the hire purchase?" And where would I get a second-hand machine? Sure, it's in them in the paper every day, so if you looked at them. So the seed was set, and Joseph proceeded to watch the papers. And he also got in touch with Stewart and Curry, suppliers of printing presses in Dublin. And they said they had nothing coming in. So he was looking out and he owned no sign of a press, no sign of any printing press. So Aidan Redmond had a Volkswagen car. So Joseph Berry borrowed the Volkswagen car from Aidan Redmond. And we went off to Dublin to crack it on. And when we got as far as Longford, we picked up our older brother Paddy, who was a health inspector in Longford at that time. And we proceeded to Dublin. And at the time, Teddy, they're all gone now, Teddy was an audio technician. At that time they called him a sound man, recording sound for radio. And that's all he did, was recording sound. So he met us in Dublin, and we went away and had a meal. And then we went off to the office of Stewart and Curry, and we sat down along with them, and they said that they didn't have any second-hand machine on their books, or the prospects of getting one in the foreseeable future wouldn't be happening. And the next thing is we called Paddy Church up. And what would you pay for a new one? Ah, says your man, he said, there's a new machine coming on the market now, a Heidelberg. That's a German machine, says Paddy. Paddy was in the RAF. The fucking Germans, he says, are no good. And nothing to do with it. Well, he says, you get a Thompson Platinum. That's a British machine, and which is one of them. £3,000. Do you get higher purchase than that? Oh, you will, he says, you will. And Joseph had £300 that he had got from the family towards this project. And he discovered that £300 would be the down payment on the higher purchase to get this Thompson Platinum. So he had made inquiries from a wheelwright down the street, Johnny Kane, the man I spoke about earlier. He had closed his business, and his niece, Johnny wasn't married, his niece was living in Carabon, but she used to come down every day to the Fairbrain to where they had the house. And in actual fact, she was having a romance with a man in the town, which was like a piece of string, that there was no end to it. And it never happened after 40 years of courtship. Oh. Anyway, Joseph made an agreement with her that she'd rent him the premises at 30 shillings a week, and he would put in the machine. So then we had to get 3-phase current for this machine. And Jackie Dunn was with the ESB. I'm nearly sure I have this right now. And my God, it's a long time ago. It's in the 50s. Jackie Dunn, anyhow, said that to get the 3-phase current into the workshop at Bridie Kane's, that you wouldn't be able to bring the electric wires over the roof, and that have to come in through the gate. There was a bit of a curwibble anyhow about that, but it was decided anyhow that they'd attach the cable to the upper part of the house, and it would be tall enough for traffic at that time, the length, to get under the cable, and there'd be no problem. So we got the electricity in, and we had to put a concrete floor into the shed. It was a cobbled workshop. It was cobbled stones that was in the workshop. So we had to put in a concrete floor. And there was a load of gravel on the street. And I am at a loss to know whose it was. But it had been there for a period. So a couple of bags of cement anyhow were got from Paddy Kelly's, and I don't know how they came up, but Paddy Boyle, Tim Cannon, Mickey Berry, and there may be somebody else, We used this gravel that was there anyhow, and the cement, and put in a flat concrete floor on top of the cobblestones in the workshop. And I was working a night shift with the post office at the time, and I finished at 4 o'clock in the morning. And I came up at 4 o'clock in the morning and I floated the floor. We had the electricity in. We got the 3-phase current in. I don't know the full detail of that, but we had the light anyhow. And I floated the floor at 4 o'clock in the morning. And it just ran down flat. And with that the machine came down from Dublin and it was muled one way or another into the workshop. And we set up the printing shop. And
What year did you start?
I cannot honestly give you that year now.
Approximately?
It'll be in the mid-50s.
Mid-50s.
I'd see it to be in the mid-50s.
And what kind of business did you go after then?
Doing letterheads and business cards and docket books. And that was the run of business that he had. And he was doing quite well at it. And our sister Mary, who was with the post office at the time, she was a supervising telephonist. She looked after his accounts. And I went out. I was with the post office and I was finished every day at 12:30. Maybe I was finished at 2:30 every third week. I was finished at 2:30, that was it. And I go out with Joseph Carey, he got his own Volkswagen at this time, and I go hunting the lack of outstanding accounts. And I remember well going to this lady, and he used to do it every 6th week. So I went into her and I says, Johnny at home, would you ever, I says, give him that docket for the club that he's involved in, for letterheads that he got done or something? I will, man, I will, mister, I will, mister. Thank you very much, man. So down 6 weeks after, Johnny is still at work, he is. Did you give him that docket? I did, she says. But he said he didn't do anything about it, no. So I went off with myself anyhow, and I was down again 6 weeks later. Johnny, he's still at work again. I says, give you a docket, I says, the last day. He didn't do anything about it. Did he not know? She said he didn't. I said, well, yes, no, I said to do something about it. We got 6 weeks after I was down again. Jim, Johnny, he should have run well in that great, I says. He said, no, it says 3 months, ma'am, since I came down to you. Excuse me, I says, it's 4.5 months since I came down to you and I gave you that bit of paper. Ah, she says, I couldn't with that length. That's the length it is, ma'am. And would you ever tell Johnny now that we'd hate to have an unsavoury incident on a green table over a couple of shillings? Because I says, the company knows I came here and I'll give evidence to that fact that this is my 3rd time calling to you when there was 6 weeks between every call. Good luck to you now, ma'am. Goodbye. Money was up the next day.
Good collector.
Oh, I tell you, I was a chopper.
And how did the business develop from that then?
He got printing inserts from some of the firms in Castlebar. Anne Riley was with them at the time, and Feeney. She was the bookkeeper then. But he started doing inserts for some of the firms in Castlebar.
The Baxter, was it?
I don't know, was it Baxter? And I don't think Baxter was Baxter at the time. There could be somebody else. But I got him was one of them doing them inserts. And he went to the other firms in, telling them that he could do the inserts for them. And he'd be able to do the inserts at very short notice. So he went to some crowd anyhow, whichever one of them it was, and they rang back. And Pat Toole, I think, was working for him at the time. And there's a side story to that, but I won't repeat it now. Later I will. They rang up Pat Toole and said they wanted to talk to Joseph Berry or Joe Berry. He wasn't there. They said we want inserts, and he said he could do them at very short notice. And when can you give us the piece of plastic that has the information? Oh, we can send it over immediately. He says, Joseph isn't here now, Joe Berry isn't here now, but he'll be back shortly. And I'll ask him to ring you. So Joseph came along, and Pat Toole gave him the story, and Joseph rang them up. You were inquiring about inserts and you wanted them in a hurry, that's right. And you could send me over the piece of plastic with the information. Yeah, when can you let me have the plastic? Well, we can send it over immediately. Right, he says. How many do you want? Oh, we'll want about 40,000. Right, he says. You'll have 3,000 or 4,000 of them in the morning. If you send that to me now. So he waited up and did them, the initial bundle of them, and he was back in the morning with them at 8 o'clock. And from there on.
They were impressed.
Yeah.
They were impressed.
Oh, yes. Yes.
So then he went down the Golf Club Road.
Yes.
Opened up a big place there then.
Opened up the big place down there. He went from the Fair Green to the Newport Road, to the Distillery Road.
That's right, yeah.
And when he opened up that place, my God, it was huge. And there was one or two small little machines in it. And Michael Morgan was the electrician for wiring the machines. And he got in some big machine. He said, that's it now. That's the last of the machines. And it wasn't 3 months after when he was bang in another one. That's the last of the machines. The last of the machines. And it got too big, and then he had to go down the Newport Road. And it got so big then that he let the other crowd take it over. I think he sold it for something over £1 million. It was huge money.
More than that.
Huh? Said that again?
More than that?
Well, that's possible. That's possible. Oh, that's possible, Ali.
Yeah.
That's quite possible. But he built a huge business.
Oh, huge business there.
But he could. Pat Toole said if he went to see a firm for this audit, as they called it, there's nothing sure than before 2 months the phone would ring. We want inserts now.
Yeah, he got a lot of the multinational stuff, didn't he?
Oh, he did. From once he got him with the multinationals, it all had boomed.
So he gave him good service and good quality and all that.
Oh, if it wasn't right, it was wrong. If he printed an insert and there was a flaw in it, that was scrapped. Had to be done again. There was no it'll do. It had to be perfect.
Yeah, he was very good at that, yeah.
Yes.
Was he his own salesman, more or less, he was?
He was his own salesman. He was his own salesman. And I did the bill hunting for the local stuff that he'd do for football clubs and shops and
Individual.
letterheads and pocketbooks and that sort of thing. But once he got into the multinationals, it blossomed. It really blossomed.
Many workers did he end up with?
100.
100, yeah.
I'm almost, there was over 100.
Then he bought the Mayo News, did he?
Then he bought the Mayo News.